A tu vera, siempre a la verita tuya, siempre a la verita tuya, hasta que de pena muera.
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
So this is your fourth time back at Somerset House.
Yes.
What is it about this beautiful building that keeps bringing you back?
Well, I mean, suddenly, I don't know how, but I became like a tradition. It became a tradition for me to just to show my new movie here. And this movie talks about many things which are very familiar to me. So this is also a familiar issue to come, yeah, for the first time to present it. And also, I was, in the movie, I don't know if you saw it already, you know how important was just the movie. I mean, just to see movies at the open air under the star. I mentioned that because the first movie that I remember of my childhood, it was always under the stars in a big wall, and with the kids making pee on the both sides of the wall, and that smell also reminds me the first movie that I saw. So I love the opportunity to present the movie in one place like this.
A similar setting and a similar cast. You're working with two actors who you've worked with many times before. How has that relationship developed over the years?
It's always easier. I mean, with the time, because you invest. It's like an investment. Just to have the experience of directing them and to be understood by them and to understand them, it makes everything easier at the moment of shooting. So, we became Antonio and Penelope, they are like part of my family because, I used to see them. We became friends from a long time ago. So it's always wonderful if I write something that they can do. Of course, they are the first one to be called.
Just when you mentioned sitting under the stars watching the film, what was the first film that you watched that inspired you to become a director?
The first one, I don't know, but I remember of that period of understar projected movies. One of that appears in the Splendor in the Grass, and I was very inspired and very shocked because they talk about provincial people living in a rural place, very limited, and I was a little guy, but I thought exactly like Natalie Wood and the Warren Beatty's sister.
Antonio, how does it feel to be having the UK premiere of Pain and Glory at this beautiful building?
It feels great to just open this movie anywhere in the world. We have been very, very lucky for mysterious reasons. And when I say mysterious reasons, is that because it's very difficult for anybody, I think, that works in a movie, and especially for actors, to actually know what you really have done and how that thing affects the audiences in a way or another. It's complicated. And but we have been very lucky since we presented the movie in Spain. It seems that the critics and the people love the movie. It happens also in France when we were in the Cannes Film Festival, Italy, and now we're coming to England. And so far, the response that we're having is very enlightening and very encouraging.
So this is your 8th film with Almodovar. How has that actor-director relationship evolved over all those years?
It has been, we can put it in two different places. All the work that we did in the 80s, there was 5 movies that we did at that time. And then for 22 years, we didn't work together, and we went back with, The Skin I Live In, and then a little participation in I Am So Excited, and this one. If interesting enough, that since I came back, and in a way, the work that I did in The Skin I Live In, it was in a strange way the preparation for this movie. Why? Because I just went to do that movie all cocky after many years in the United States, trying to show Pedro, what I have learned. All the tools, the new tools that I had to act, and my new tricks, and I knew everything. I didn't like them at all. He said, well, that's very good for your American directors, but where are you? So I confronted him at that time, and I said, So I was not humble enough. And we kind of we had a kind of a tense, time on the set. Never fight or anything like that because we love each other. I've been in a relationship of 40 years. We're friends, but tense. When I saw the movie in Toronto Film Festival, the skin I live in, I was surprised, that he managed to just get out, bring out of me a character I didn't know I had. So that opened, in a way, the possibility of thinking about myself as an actor for all these years. So when he called me to do this movie, I went with a completely different disposition. I just knew that I had to be humble. I wanted to know um, why he wanted to do this movie, why he called me. So I was just filled with genuine questions and a sense of abandonment. I mean, just going to trying to understand basically what we were doing. And so we start from scratch, from zero, with no tricks, with detaching from all the stuff that can contaminate the movie. And I think that was actually one of the most interesting things that I have done in my life.
And just a final quick question. What was the film that inspired you to become an actor?
I don't think it was it was not a film. I became inspired to be an actor in the theater, and not for a particular play. My father and my mother, they were very much theater aficionados, and they took my brother and I when we were still very little kids, and I just loved from the beginning the ritual that took place there in a room in which number of people is telling a story to another number of people. I thought it was extraordinary. It was magnetic, that kind of a ritual. So that's what actually made me be an actor. Movies came later, almost as an accident of 112 movies.
So this is your 7th film with Almodovar. How has that actor-director relationship evolved over the years?
Well, we know each other so well. We look at each other. We know what the other one is thinking. It's very hard to lie to each other. We're very close. He's one of my best friends. And my favorite director in the world. Somebody that I really admire and love.
What was the first film that you remember watching that really made you inspired to become an actor?
Wow. Most of them were from Pedro. It was Women on the Verge, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, What Have I Done to Deserve This? And then many movies from Meryl Streep or Billy Wilder. I think those are the names that, also Anna Magnani, the names that made me want to try, to try something crazy, because I didn't know anybody that had a job in this industry. I didn't even have a movie theater near where I lived, so I was watching everything in a Betamax that my father bought, and that's how I become a big cinephila.
So aside from the obvious Pedro being involved, the director, what specifically about this project made you want to do this role?
Well, I'm playing a character that is based on his mother, so that was really beautiful to me because I really care about him and I know how much he cared about this woman. And even if it's a smaller character in the film, I feel like it was important for me to do it because it's her, and I met her and she was really, really loving, and she loved Pedro so much. And I feel Pedro's personality comes a lot from the way she was. She was very peculiar, very interesting.
And final question, what was your favorite scene to shoot and why?
I think the scene in the river singing with the little boy, because there was something magical on the set that day, and I feel like he was revisiting all those happy memories from his childhood, and it was like if time stopped that day.